22nd day in the month of April 2024. Welcome everyone to Sports Africa. This is where we discuss football and other sporting stories on the continent of Africa. How our African sports men and women are doing in their respective activities. James Agberebi is here. I'm also here, of course, with you, wherever you are watching us from. We'll be doing this together today. How was your weekend? I hope it was very fantastic. I had a very, very awesome time for myself in the course of the past 2 days. James, welcome to the show. And how was your weekend?
Yeah, fine, Femi, and how was yours?
We thank God it was fine. Though we had two Africans at the center stage in the FA Cup over the weekend. We had Nicholas Jackson for Chelsea, who has continued to receive barrage of insults and abuses online because of failing to take his chances in Chelsea's defeat to Man City. Then we had Andre Onana yesterday for Manchester United. A lot of people believe that Onana and the VAR spared Erik ten Hag a sack later this morning. But those would not be our focus this morning. So, to those who are just joining us for the first time, of course, we take you through our regular program, which is our continental roundup. Then we go to the talking point. Then we have Star in Diaspora. Today we'll be going to Kenya, and she is an athlete. Then the big game over the weekend. Of course, we took you to a trip on a trip to Nigeria last weekend, and we had an MPFL game between Rivers United and Rangers. We'll be telling you how that panned out in the course of the show. Okay, let's get started. Our continental roundup. Of course, on June 3rd, 2024, the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be playing the Bafana of South Africa in continuation of the quest to reach 2026 FIFA World Cup that will be hosted by the US, Canada, and Mexico. Remember that Nigeria have not started their campaign well because they've drawn 2 of their 2 games, drawing against maybe the 2 minors in the group, that is Lesotho and Zimbabwe in Group C. But up till now, the Nigeria Football Federation is yet to announce a substantive replacement for Osi Pesero. And that has continued to generate, I don't know whether I should call it a debate or confusion among football stakeholders in Nigeria. And today also we'll be taking you to Ghana because Mohamed Kudus is on the list of Liverpool's summer soup to replace Mohamed Salah. So these are many more will be discussing in the talking point. Okay, let's get straight to the talking point, James. Once again, you are welcome. Let's talk about the delay in announcing new Super Eagles coach. Now, we heard that 3 names have been shortlisted. And in the final shortlist, we have Michael Nsien, who is based in the US and is currently the coach of the under-19 men's senior team in the US. Then we have Emmanuel Amunike, former assistant, just a brief spell. And then we have Antonio Conceicao, a Portuguese manager who was formerly with the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. James, but what people have been saying is, what is the reason for the delay? People are saying the NFF are trying to do the due diligence because the sports ministry has said it won't be involved this time in the payment of the coach. And people like Edema Fuludu, who says that the NFF are not just proactive because they should have anticipated that if Pesero didn't sign the contract extension, what are they going to do?
For me, I think this is just unnecessary delay. By this time the Super Eagles should have a coach. I mean, when did Pesero left his position? I think it was like I wasn't in February.
Ending of February.
Yes, by now you expect the Super Eagles to have a new coach, but it has been dragging, and for a big country, I don't think you see countries like Brazil, Spain, Bulgaria, or you hardly hear anything like they are drawing up a short list of coaches. I mean, they know what they want. They always anticipate that this coach will leave, and what they do is they just go out and get their replacements. But in our own case here, we start seeing all kinds of names, start throwing all kinds of names around. In the early part of the when the NFF announced the position as vacant, we saw all kinds of names. Salisu Yusuf, we saw Daniel Amokachi, we saw Sunday Odise, we saw, So I think we are getting close to the stage where eventually they just have to announce the new coach. And I'm looking at this week because there's no more time. You can't be looking forward to World Cup qualifier and yet not decided on who's going to take over coaching role, So a lot of things have been flying around. Over the weekend, the reports, unconfirmed report that Amunike has landed the job, but there was no confirmation about that. So whether it's Amunike or whoever, I think it's important that they should just get that sorted out so that we move on. Because I think the other teams in the group, I don't think they have issues when it comes to coaches. They all still have their coaches intact, but in our case, we are still dragging this. So let's just get this out of the way and look forward to the World Cup qualifiers.
Okay, James, those who are bandit, talking about Amunike being appointed as the coach of the Super Eagles, we've had information from the grapevine that the NFF will have to settle with someone who knows this thing very well, and certainly it won't be Michael Nsien, who is based in the US. Certainly it won't be Antonio Conceicao, the Portuguese, who hasn't even handled the Super Eagles before. I'm sure that was what informed those who are talking about Amunike has got the job. But you were talking about a week. Minister of Sports, Senator John Eno, recently said that he can assure Nigerians that in the next 2 weeks, that means they're looking at the ending of this month, that a new coach will be announced. And quickly, he said the responsibility of getting a coach for the Super Eagles lies with the NFF, and I've been in touch with the NFF. What I can assure you is that a new Super Eagles coach will be announced in the next 2 weeks. The NFF knows what Nigeria lost missing out from the last World Cup, and the NFF is working hard. We are in constant touch. James, 2 weeks from when the minister made this statement will be at the end of this month. Isn't that late? Then that means the new coach has a month to prepare a team, whether he knows the team or not. A month, is that enough for a crucial clash that will be taking place, not even home here, it will be taking place in South Africa against Bafana, who are imagined as a massive rival for Nigeria in these qualifiers?
Yeah, for me, just like what I said before, all this should have been sorted out a long time ago. But we kept dragging and dragging. I think the signs are already there that Soro will not extend his contract. That was when the serious federation would have started hunting for for a replacement. So we won't be going through all this. Even the friendly games during the international window, the friendly games that the Super Eagles had with Ghana and Mali, the new coach would have been the one in charge of those games. But just the way things are,
just product of failing to plan, right? It's a product of failing to plan.
Yes, the new coach should have been the one to handle that game. Should I have a good idea of the kind of players he's going to work with? Then he'll try out, new tactics. But now, if you appoint a new coach, there's no friendly game lined up anywhere. So, which means his baptism of fire is going to be against South Africa. I know that's going to be a very tricky tie because of also what happened at the last AFCON. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and hopefully they will announce the new coach in time, whether it's Amunike or whoever. Let them just do it ASAP because there's no time again. Honestly, I said before, the other teams they have their coaches intact, but we are still looking for a new coach. And the way we started the World Cup qualifier, everybody knew that it's not the best of things. So we cannot afford to drop any more points again, but it's going to be it's going to be self-stress for us.
Okay, James, let's take a trip to Ghana now. Of course, over the weekend, we saw the first leg semi-finals of the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup, and Dreams FC is taking attention once again. They drew in their game away to Zamalek. We have to give Coach Abdulkarim Zito his flowers. He's doing wonders with that club. Their first time on the continent, and they look like they might be the first Ghanaian team to win the continental club competition since Hearts of Oak did it in 2004. James, were you surprised with that result? Because we said it when we did the preview last Friday that it was going to be something like a David versus Goliath thing. And after the game, the Zamalek head coach, Jose Gomez, was saying that they just couldn't effect their game plan. Do you see Dreams pushing this? Remember, this weekend they will host the second leg, and that is going to be very crucial. So, like I said, Zamalek coach has said that the second leg is going to be highly technical. He's already boasting ahead of that game. But do you see Dreams pushing, getting this one over the line?
Well, Femi, a good one for Dreams FC. Like I told you before, I never give them a chance to come this far. For a team that's competing for the very first time on the continent, and they've proven that they're a very solid side. Going toe to toe with one of the best teams in Africa. So a good one. It's not every team that will go to a place like Zamalek and come back with a nil-nil draw. But having said that, I think they should be very careful because they are up against an experienced side. Instead have gone through this kind of result before. The nil scoreline for me is not for like the most important thing is they didn't concede at home. So for me, Dreams have it all to do. Zamalek, they are not out yet. It's still a balanced tie. You remember what happened
to Nigeria and Ghana? A 1-0 would mean that they are out. 1-0 draw at home would mean that they are out.
Yes, that's the thing. The most important thing for Zamalek is that they didn't score, but they didn't concede. So the tie is and just have it all to care for. It's going to be under pressure, Femi. But like I said, they're playing against an experience that have seen it all continents. So they should just try as possible not to let the occasion overwhelm them because it's going to be tension. If in the first maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes they did not score, Femi, the pressure will set in, honestly, because teams like Zamalek, Al Ahly, they know how to play these things. They know how to stifle games. So teams didn't have what it takes to beat them because I haven't gone to Egypt to get the result. You want to believe that they should finish up the job, but all I'm saying is they should be very careful. They are playing against one of the most experienced teams on the continent, so they just have to be very, very careful. So I believe they have what it takes. So let's just hope that at least for the first time in a very long time that the Ghanaian team will make it to the final of the continental competition.
I guess during the game over the weekend, Zamalek will be expecting like a 5-0, just like Manchester United thought they were going to whitewash Coventry yesterday, and they disappointed. Jose Gomez didn't even hide his feeling after the game, and in the post-match press conference, he said, "Currently, we are between halftime, and we have 90 minutes left in the return match scheduled for next Sunday in Ghana, and we must do our best to achieve victory in the next game." He talked about some of his key players who are out, and of course, he hopes that they will return for the second leg. But we are praying that Dreams will be able to see this through in the CAF Confederations Cup. Of course, in the other semi-final game, USM Alger, who knocked out Nigeria's Rivers United and RS Berkane, that game was postponed. And in the CAF Champions League, James, we had TP Mazembe drawing 0-0 at home to Al Ahly. And in the other game, we have Experience defeating Mamelodi Sundowns 1 in the return leg. Let's look at these two games. TP Mazembe, you also want to say that would you say the result is a bit favorable to them? Like we said in the case of Zamalek and Dreams now, a 1-0 result in the return leg to Al Ahly in Egypt will see them through.
Yeah, that's if they play a 0-0 draw in DRC. And the good thing about their own part is
it was goalless. It was goalless in the first leg. Yeah.
Okay, it was goalless in the first leg, so they are coming on to play the return leg. Like I said, it's similar to what I said in the game between Dreams and Zamalek. It's still an open tie. I remember the final of if I'm not mistaken, the final of the last CAF Champions League. I think Al Ahly drew their first game at home before they went away to win against a fellow North African team. So TP Mazembe, they are not they cannot confidently say they are it's a done and dusted tie. Al Ahly, just like Zamalek, they've been in this situation before. So all they need to do is to try and make a goal there and turn the game upside down for the opponent. So they know that they are still in it, and so it's for TP Mazembe to do everything possible to get the needed win. Because they're going to have their hands. So for Sundowns to get our Esperance, you see the close tie. You see anybody's game. So let's just the good thing is all the times that there's no team that can come out and say we have this in the bag.
We've won it.
Everybody still have to prove that they are, it's still open. The second leg, nobody can come out and say we've qualified. The second leg still wide open for every team, both in the Confederations Cup and the CAF Champions League. Everybody still have a chance to make it through.
Okay. One thing I like about North Africans, when it comes to CAF Champions and the CAF Confederations Cup, they do not even mean pleasure with business. They let you know that they really means strict business. And when the coach doesn't do well, you might not even necessarily win the domestic competition. But when it comes to the continent, you're expected to win. And when you don't win, whether you are Pep Guardiola or you're Mourinho, they show you the exit or straight. Okay, James, let's talk about Mohamed Kudus. Remember, of late, Mohamed Salah has not been getting, the number of game time that he usually got at Liverpool. Yesterday, in their win over Fulham in the Premier League, he started from the bench. And now reports say Liverpool, they are eyeing Mohamed Kudus as a replacement for Salah. As a matter of fact, they said West Ham have quoted £150 million, but we know that will still be down to negotiations and all that. Do you think Kudus can perfectly fit into Salah's figure at Anfield?
Yeah, I know that it will be hard to compare West Ham and Liverpool, but I think Kudus he has shown that he can hold his own anywhere, from Ajax, former European champions, to West Ham. He started slowly at West Ham. He was introduced into the league gradually, and he was able to explode. And his debut season has been fantastic. So what he has shown is that he has put himself out there for everyone to see. So if Liverpool or even any other big club are coming for him, it shouldn't come as a surprise, because if the stats are there for everybody to see, that for me is the main man in West Ham United. Without his goals, I wonder where West Ham would be. He has kind of dragged that into wherever they are now.
Do you think he should leave, James? It's just his first season at West Ham. Do you think he should leave at this point? If the decision is down to him, if West Ham says, okay, Liverpool wants you, we've accepted the bid, do you want to leave? Would you advise him to leave West Ham at this point, or still stay a couple more seasons in order to actually prove himself before moving elsewhere?
For me, I don't. If you check the current Liverpool team, apart if you take out Salah and maybe Van Dijk, and there are so many few players who you put ahead of Kudus there. So if somebody who in his debut season, look at the amount of goals he has scored. So which means he has blended well in the league. And if Liverpool are coming for him, I mean, for me, I think he should join them, because it will give him the opportunity to see more in the Champions League. Because the way it is, Liverpool are going to play in the Champions League, and they want your best players to feature in the Champions League, in the biggest club competition in the world. That's why you want to see your best players, competing in. So, like I said, the stats are there. He has proven that he's a top player, and it's not a surprise that Liverpool are linked to him. And me, I want him to join Liverpool. I believe that he has what it takes to excel there. So for a player who joined a club, a modest club like West Ham, and was able to prove himself, how much more a club like Liverpool. Though it's not casted in stone that he will just fit in, because we've seen top players who join big clubs and they flopped. But I think Kudus it's not as if he's just coming to England. He's in the league. He knows the in and out of the league. He understands how the league operates. So he has bedded in well, and playing for Liverpool, I think that's going to be a very, very big, massive jump in his career. For me, that's where I see it.
Okay. My worry for Kudus is that Jurgen Klopp is leaving the club at the end of the season. It would have been fantastic if he could work with Klopp, but that will not be happening. Of course, Salah is being touted to leave for Saudi Arabia at the end of the season, and that is why Liverpool are looking for a replacement. And James, on a lighter note, this picture on the screen, Nigerians, let me put it this way, Nigerians have started a banter with South Africa ahead of the World Cup qualifiers. I don't know whether you've run into this on social media. This guy on the screen wearing Osimhen kind of mask. and Nigerians said South Africans have unveiled their own version of Osimhen. And they said this guy has played 22 games and he has kept 18 offside. And they call him low budget Osimhen. And some Nigerians are calling him osmosis instead of Osimhen. You see, Nigerians they've shifted their banter from Ghana to South Africa. Somebody said ahead of the World Cup qualifier. So even if the Nigerian Football Federation isn't preparing, Nigerians are telling South Africans that they are preparing.
Yeah, the good. I saw the post. You know what they tagged the guy with, a low budget to Osimhen and other. I mean, that's the thing about that. You do anything to get to your opponents. And especially the way the semi-final between Nigeria and South Africa turned out. It was a feisty affair, and it would have gone either way. Even
don't forget the Falcons and the Bayern as well.
Yes, that one too. It raised a lot of banter here and there. Accusations. Remember what the South African player and coach said? The grass the Abuja Stadium was not too okay. They talked about the weather condition, that, facilities, and so that's always the issue when it comes to Nigeria and South Africa these days. So it's like there's kind of a rivalry. That's why the fact that if you check the head-to-head, the Nigerian team, both for the male and female, they are like the gap is very wide. But it's always a close contest when the two teams meet. So one better way to prepare for the World Cup qualifiers. So for me, there's nothing. It just be part of the humor side of football.
Okay, of course. Please, if you're in South Africa, please kindly help us identify this guy. Tell us his name and what club he plays for. And for South Africans, don't try to reply Nigerians. If you want to, you can ask Ghanaians first. They will tell you that you've actually beaten more than you can choose. So just leave it as it is. Okay, now let's take a break. We'll go for our start in the diaspora today. Like we told you earlier, we'll be going to Kenya, and it is going to be in athletics. We'll be back. Please stay with us. Welcome back. It's still Sport Africa. Of course, we've been having fun on the show. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Please just click on that subscription button. Click on that notification button as well, so that you get the video as soon as they drop. And like we've said the opt-in time, if you think there are other content that we can actually add to improve our delivery right there on Sport Africa, please let us know in the comment section. Please tell people about the channel. Just let them check out these guys, particularly for those in the diaspora who are kind of far away from and do not really know what is going on the continent. The World Cup qualifier for 2026 World Cup will soon get underway, and this is the right place where you can get all the build-ups and, of course, all the information that you need, even regarding your own country participating in the qualifiers. James, let's talk about the London Marathon that took place over the weekend. Of course, we had the Kenyan Perez Jepchirchir. This woman, she broke a women's only world record. And what surprised me was the distance. Now, the distance for the London Marathon is 42.195 kilometers. 42.195 kilometers. And I tried to find out the distance between Nigeria, Lagos, for instance, to Benin Republic, for instance, and it's 116 kilometers. So now imagine that is what you get put on. But now imagine someone running that broke a record, and she said, yeah, she knew someone was going to break the record, but she never thought it was going to be her. And that is where she's standing for today. Women, African sport player. When it comes to marathon, Africa.
Yeah, Femi, when it comes to the distance, the people you are looking at, the Kenyans, nobody comes close. It's been like that for decades, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. I mean, every year they keep turning out stars. As if they have a factory somewhere that's just bringing the new stars. At the Olympics, at the Commonwealth, at the World Championship. When it comes to the marathons, you cannot beat them. You the what you call the long distance inside the stadium, and even you take it to the streets, take it anywhere. take to the mountains, they are still going to top it, you know, both the men and the women. So it's just them. So it's not a surprise. So it shouldn't come as a surprise. It's as if the rest of the world have given up on trying to catch up to the Kenyans, you know. So it's just natural to them, you know, their condition, their environment. So it suits them and they've taken advantage of it. You know, that's why I tell every Olympic at the beginning, you don't hear of the Kenyans. But when it gets to the athletics, the release, the 5,000, the 800, just know that they're going to get a couple of gold medals. They don't you hardly see them in other sports. I've seen a couple of them in the 100 meters, but you don't really see the best of them. When it comes to the distance, Femi, you just have to give it to them. So a good one for her, and I hope we continue to see the best of her.
Okay. Of course, Perez Jeb Cheche is our sign diaspora for today. But James, I'd like to ask you, because even when we have a city marathon here in Lagos, Nigeria, and the East Africans, they usually come and win. And you find that those who even come, they are not even the elite runners, elite athletes in Kenya. Would you say it is talent or preparation? I don't know. Or would you say it's the combination of both? Because even if you realize not that the government actually has, you know, this a hub where they develop these talents. It seems they just, you know, spring up, like this Kenya guy that died in an accident. He was trying to start an athletics academy for young guys in his village before he met the sad untimely death. Would you say it is preparation mixed with talent, or it's just individuals just, you know, nursing their talent and ambition themselves?
Femi, one thing you need to realize is the athletic body in Kenya, they know where their strength is. They know that when it comes to the distance, nobody comes through. So they are going to invest everything. You see all these marathon in Nigeria and other parts, they don't need their elites to attend these events. They have the upcoming ones who use this tournament to warm themselves
Right.
into you know. So that's why you see all kinds of names, all kinds of new set of Kenyans coming on board. You know, anywhere they hear that there's a marathon tournament taking place, they will be there, and we know that they're going to win it. So they already the preparation, everything is there. You know, so they don't joke about it. That's why, apart from marathon, which other sport you say Kenyans are very strong? Maybe netball. You know, they are very good when it comes to netball too. From that, what are they are no they are not good they are not a good side when it comes to football. Let us don't kid ourselves. You have to see them in boxing and basketball, and when it comes to the marathon. So it's about taking advantage of what you are good at,
Their
you know,
strengths.
comparative advantage. Yeah, where your strength lies, and you invest in it. And we've seen the result over the years. They've been doing it, you know, at the Olympics, at any major tournament. So for me, whether it's the Lagos Marathon or whatever marathon, they will always do well because the plan, everything is intact.
All right. Okay. Well said, James. Let's talk about the big game before we leave the show today. James, did you see that result coming? Rivers United to Rangers nil. A lot of people thought Rangers were going to put up maybe some form of fight in the Marcus Stadium in Port Harcourt over the weekend.
Well, for me, eh, fine. The Rangers they are going for the title, but you know when you come up against a team like Rivers United, who the former champions, who took part on the continent. I mean, they are not a small fry. They are going to give any team a good fight, and that was what we saw. They didn't come to me as a surprise. It's unfortunate that for a team that is fighting to win the league title, you just have to. This is like a dent to them, but it's one of those things. It's just for them to pick themselves up and to play big Nigeria, and any team that's going to play them, you have to give your 150% because they've seen it all. They are not a team that you just go to their place and think you're going to get an easy game.
Okay, James, I was a bit surprised. And for Rangers now, their lead at the top of the table has been cut just to by Enyimba, who was second, and of course Lobby. And for Rangers, you know, if you can remember, the 11-game unbeaten run was ended by Katsina United when they lost 4-3. And of course, remember in between, they defeated Abia Warriors in the Renta and the big 3-2. Now they've lost again. So it means they've recorded 2 defeats in 3 games. I hope that Fidelis Lechuku and his boys will be able to pick themselves back up and continue to fight for the title. Remember, in 2016, they won it after 32 years. So they are trying to, or they are striving to win it once again this season. James Agberebi, thank you so much for your thought today. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, Femi, and I'll see you next time.
And our producer, of course, the man behind the camera who keeps, putting all this together for us. We appreciate you so kindly. Kadundari sadly couldn't join us today, but hopefully by Friday, Kade will be around. And to you all who have continued to be our backbone, supporting us, from of course, where we came from to this place. Thank you so much. But please don't forget to subscribe. Don't just watch our video. Please subscribe to our channel. Click on that notification button so that you get the videos as soon as they drop. And please tell someone today about Sports Africa. Just tell someone everything that are regarding sports on the continent. We bring it to you very freely. Whatever, if you please put it in the comment section, we'll read and we'll get back, of course, accordingly. Thank you so much, Arabina Chalulu Afemi Kayode. Have a fantastic week ahead of you. Bye for now.